In the last section, I mentioned challenges meditators face: body sensations, a wandering mind, amplifying the smallest stimuli, distracting thoughts and disturbing emotions emerging from nowhere. I also said these are natural at the start of our meditation journey, and they fade as we practice. But I didn't say how to cope with them. This session intends to give you some basic tools. Meditation helps to calm and clear our mind. It helps us develop mindfulness by letting us experience our inherent tranquility when our mind is not distracted. Our first experience contradicts this statement. We find our first sessions strenuous and disturbing. Our mind is programmed to be busy all the time. It responds to stimuli, analyzes information, and runs scenarios to prepare us for action. When we try to eliminate stimuli, our mind interprets silence as suspicious calm before a storm and winds up its signal amplifiers. Our mind needs time to unwind. Practice and repeated experience of brief periods of calm shortens the time needed by building an anticipation of calmness. But to reap the benefits later, we should persist. To persist, we must endure and cope with initial difficulties. Physical body sensations cause the least trouble. They have three sources: inconvenient posture, amplified signals not noticed before, and senses made up by our mind. Our body gets used to sitting still by time, but we can ease strains by improving our posture. Experiment with tilting your pelvis forward to balance your spine, or sit forward and backward on your chair. If we sit cross-legged, using a higher zafu or footstool may help, and we can return to a lower one once we got used to this posture. Sensations amplified by our idle mind disappear by time. The best tactic to cope with them is observation. Admit what you feel and let it go. The same applies to sensations made up by our mind. They are often hard to differentiate from real but previously unnoticed sensations. If you experience severe pain or any disturbing symptoms, end your session until you find the cause and treat it. Adjust your posture and environment if you have special needs. For example, we may meditate lying with a back injury. The only reason we sit in the first place is to avoid falling asleep. Our vehicle to a clear mind and undisturbed soul, stripped from judgment and biases, is complete relaxation. When we are tired, relaxation may cause us to fall asleep. Sleep is healthy, but sleep is not meditation. When we are drowsy because we work too much or stay awake too late, skipping a session for a good night's sleep that day may be our best solution. We may also experiment with a different time slot. Instead of meditating in the evening, we may meditate right after we get up in the morning, during our lunch break, or in the afternoon after work. Better ventilation of our meditation place or straightening our back for unobstructed breathing may also help. Sometimes, when we leave home or leave our car in a parking lot, we worry about having the door closed. Similar thoughts often arise when we start our session. Often we can let these and other distracting thoughts go, but some of us are more cautious, worried, or forgetful than others. Writing a checklist and going through it as part of our preparation may be a good solution to buy peace of mind. Probably we would not need it more than for the first few sessions. Our internal movies are harder to cope with. Internal movies are stories we roll in our mind. They can be memories we recite about past ailments or the happy times long gone. or they can be about future events making us worry or get excited. We cannot prevent these internal movies from starting, but we can avoid pondering over the past. We can avoid repeating these movies or letting them roll their course. We can get conscious, admit when we recognize an imaginary scenario rolling, and pull our attention back to our breathing. We may fail in the sense that new thoughts would not emerge. Practice, however, makes them less frequent and evaporate faster. Most thoughts and scenarios are easy to let go. Others can disturb and be powerful. Memories with emotional charge, challenges with serious stakes, important losses, injuries, life-threatening and life-changing illnesses. Anxiety or an emotional storm may take over meditators in these cases. The best solution is reaching out for help. Find someone who can guide your meditation or meditate with you. In tough cases, find a therapist until you can return to your regular sessions. In mild cases, recorded guided meditations from a good meditation app, such as Insight Timer, may help. But do not forget, guided meditations has limits. It doesn't let you reach the full depths of meditation, as it masks rather than eliminates internal stimuli. My best advice, therefore, is to meditate twice when times are tough. Guided meditation to ease your pain and mindfulness meditation to get through your minefield. Powerful emotions may hinder our meditation in another way. When we experience a loss, face a threat, or are in serious trouble, we are eager to mitigate our sorrow. We want to solve the problem. We want to take revenge, make up for the loss, seek forgiveness, or we want to get a job to take our chances on something now. Many times, there is nothing we can do. Sometimes we only escalate our problem with action. But we cannot stop because we cannot give up. We meditate to help ourselves calm down, but at the beginning, meditation brings long repressed, unsolved issues to the surface. But meditation is not the time to solve them. When we find ourselves in this situation, we should remind ourselves that meditation creates space to think. When we meditate, we take a break to gain strength. Yes, we need to solve our problem, but we only get exhausted pondering on it when it is not time for action. Also, we often preserve and embrace our pain because we feel that it is all we are left with after a loss. We cannot let go because we are afraid to forget. We see our painful memories as our last treasure and consider forgetting a mutilation of our identity. Again, neither meditation nor letting go is about forgetting. They are about taking a break. They help us gather strength to live and get stronger when the time for action comes. Unless we have a physical injury, the toughest challenges in meditation all come from our mind and soul. Worries, excitement, unresolved issues, and emotional storms are harder to tackle than most physical challenges, including drowsiness. The key insight of this section is that we cannot and should not force them to go. Be patient and persistent. We need to wait and repeat our sessions until they fade. We can ameliorate them so we can endure them, but we all must go through this phase to build solid foundations to our meditation practice.